Hi, Coach. Welcome to the pre-match press conference. We have the pleasure to have Coach Rhulani Mokwena and player Abdelmounaim Boutouil, Mamelodi Sundowns. First question about your preparation. Here that will be semi-final played against Wydad, Casablanca and
Greetings, good members of the media. We are excited to be here. We are excited to have this opportunity to play an important competition for our football club. And excited to be in the semi-final against a big team like we are, and at this stage of a big competition. And fully prepared and ready for the match.
Abdelmounaim, تفضل.
السلام عليكم جميعا مباركة. فرق هو من ساعة جميع النواحي. درسنا جميع الخطط الكتابة في الوداد. سواء بالنسبة لجمهور الوداد كيفاش كيحطوا بريسيون على فرق الخصم. في ساعتين إن شاء الله قد نساو اللي عندنا الكرة المغربية والجنوب الأفريقية.
Shukran, thank you. I give the floor to my colleagues journalists to ask their questions. Just a quick reminder that you can ask your questions in French. How will we do the translation? Vous pouvez poser des questions en français ou en arabe. Je ferai la traduction. On commence par Madame.
السلام عليكم، حليمة الداوي ألف سبور. سؤالي لعبدالمنعم بوطويل، مرحبا بك بعدا في بلادك. السؤال هو كان من الممكن انك تكون اليوم حاضر بقميص فريق الوداد الرياضي، لكن شاءت الاقدار انك تكون حاضر في دور ديمي فينال ديال الشامبيونز ليغ بفريق صن داونز اللي كيتعتبر من بين الاقوى في افريقيا. كيفاش استعديتي انت مورالمون لهذه المقابله؟ سيرتو كتعرف الجمهور ديال الوداد، كتعرف الضغط اللي ممكن انه يشكلوا على الخصم.
قبل الجواب نترسل المدرب باش the question is for the player about like he could be here playing for Wydad like tomorrow. We're interested with that, but instead he's representing another team. How is feeling about this?
هذا واحد الشخص اللي زوين بزاف. جيتنا في واحد الفريق اللي كنت غادي نلعب معاه. فوالا كما كيقولوا ما كيتسببش غادي شحال من بيبان. الحمد لله ربي ما خيبناش ومشينا الفرقه اللي كتلعب على تشامبيونز ليغ وهي الاقوى في افريقيا الان بالنسبه لي انايا. فان شاء الله غادي نقدم واحد المستوى كبير وان شاء الله نديو انتصار من كاسابلانكا. جمهور كبير بزاف واللي غادي يشكل واحد العام كبير كامل اللي نقدروا نخاف منه هو راح ناس من الجمهور.
Just to reassure you, briefly, he's happy to play with us.
I'm very happy to hear it.
Next question, we go there. Sir?
سؤالي للمدرب هو الأول. نلاحظ أن صن داونز دائما تلعب بشكل مفتوح خارج الملعب. هل سيتكرر هذا الأمر هذا في مباراة الغد؟ وسؤالي لعبدالمنعم، في الأول ما كنتيش كتشارك في المباريات مع صن داونز، مؤخرا لاحظنا أنه بديتي كتشارك بشكل رسمي. شنو السر ديال
Question for the coach about the fact that Sundowns, they noticed that you play very often, even when you like play away, like you strike and go for strike. Is this going to be the case tomorrow?
Well, to wait and see. I think we've done a lot of good work on a very complicated opponent.
No, they understand English.
Oh, they understand. Okay, very good. We've done a lot of very good work on a very complicated opponent. we understand where the strengths and weaknesses of Wydad come from. It's complicated in the sense that only against Shabab, the coach had his first type of imprint on the team. Though the imprint looks a little bit consistent to his time at Simba, to his time in Saudi, to his time in Zambia, and even his time here in Morocco. A good team with defensively very, very strong, extremely experienced and quality players in every position. Of course, the Asian goalkeeper is a Moroccan international, but okay, now you have Al-Moti, who is very good, can use both his left and his right foot, and very interesting build-up schemes. You have Etihad Allah, who is also a full Moroccan international and had a very, very good World Cup. It's extremely important for them to give them aggression on the left back position. They can play Zola there, who's got a very good left foot, good physicality and a good profile. Abdel can play centre back, and then Benayeda can also play with him. Then it's very interesting to see maybe if Benayeda plays centre half, who plays at right full back. Because El Amroud can play there and very aggressive and goes into the final third with good crosses and maybe even makes very interesting movements to create a lot of chances. It's interesting to see that they have probably their best player back in Jabran, because Jabran makes the team to play, creates a lot of build-up schemes too. Dawoudi in the midfield, aggressive, strong on the ball, and especially very important for them on delivery of set pieces, corner kicks, free kicks. El Hassouni, the number 10, plays behind Sambo, the striker, and he supports the play from that, and very aggressive. And a very important player. And then, of course, on the sides, they've got tricky wingers, fast. Unajen, fast, aggressive. The Bora, fast, aggressive. So we know the team. We know what the team does. We've looked at what possibilities, maybe even from the perspective of the coach, where the 4-2-3-1 can change into a back three, like that he did in his last match for Simba against Pyramids. He's done it a couple of times in Saudi Arabia where he's played with the back three, so we checked because if you have Benayeda, you have Zola, you have Abdul Fattah, and maybe you still have very good fullbacks who play with the back three maybe and consolidate. So we have to pay attention to detail, we have to be well prepared, we have to work very, very hard and have a microscopic focus that allows us to help the players in putting a good performance at a very difficult stadium with a very difficult crowd and against a very, very good side. And I'm sure also they know that we're a very good side too. And I think it will be a very good match.
Well, that was a very microscopic detailed presentation. And the question for the player was about the fact that he's not been often starting at the beginning, apart from the starting 11 at the beginning, but lately we've seen him starting with the team. So, to what he owes this?
كما تعرفوا كانت عندي واحد مونك كومبيتيسيون في فريق الرجاء اللي كنت نسمع التصوير ديال الاعاره. دونك مشيت ما كنتش مبريباري، كان خصني يلاه نوجه يلاه نفكرو يلاه نفونطاجي مع ليكيب يلاه نقول الاسبوع ديال البركايه. كنت خديت واحد الاصابه اللي كنت نقاوم باش نزيد نطلع من المستوى ديالي، فزاد عليا الحال. كنت درت اوبيراسيون في شهر واحد كنت درت اوبيراسيون الحمد لله رجعت من الاوبيراسيون بعد واحد العام اللي كان كبير بزاف مع الطاقم التقني مع الطاقم الطبي. فالحمد لله كانت موفرة جميع الظروف باش نرجع للمستوى ديالي الحقيقي. الحمد لله نهار رجعت المدرب عطاني الفرصه ديالي بقاني في المستوى، والحمد لله انا راني كنلعب. الحمد لله. الحمد لله.
شكرا.
Hello, coach.
Hello.
Well, you already respond to my question. We see that you study every player of the team very well. So you know the team, you know how it's like to play here in Casablanca. What will be the key of the match, and how about the atmosphere in the team?
Yeah. Of course, the atmosphere is going to be important. How we absorb, how we do that. But of course, we did already. This team has shown in Cairo that we can play in front of a hostile away crowd. We did that in Algeria too. We played in front of a hostile and aggressive crowd. And in the Champions League, you have to get always used to playing away matches, particularly when you know this type of competition and where a lot of the strong teams are. And then, of course, what helps them in a lot of their games is the crowd. But as I said even earlier, we are happy to be here. We want to stay in this competition for long. That means we have to play every game and try to win. But at the same time, we want to enjoy this moment and try to always give it our best and create long-lasting memories. So that comes with performing in front of an energetic and very intimidating crowd. But I can assure you that we will enjoy it because that's the energy that it gives to our team, and we'll try our best to put in a very, very good performance, because without that we know we don't have a chance to win the football match on Saturday.
Thank you.
Nasser from Campus. Hello coach, welcome to Morocco. Sundowns is the best club this season in Champions League. You scored 5 goals against Ali, you play very well, and now you are playing against Wydad, who changed 3 times the coach. How do you feel and how do you manage this news that you are favorite of the best club in Africa this season?
I'm very sober. In understanding that what we have done has not allowed for us to win anything. You look at the history of the Champions League, for an example, and you know clearly that 35 times this trophy has been won by a North African side. You look at the teams that are remaining in the last 4, and you see for yourself how many trophies Al-Ahly have won the Champions League, how many times they've won the Champions League, how many times Esperance have won the Champions League, how many times Wydad have won the Champions League, more times than Mamelodi Sundowns. You look directly at our opponent and you understand that this is their 5th consecutive semi-final performance or appearance. Whereas, you know, this is our first time in a very, very long time that again we appear in the semi-finals. So, very, very clear that when you look at everything, we don't have the pressure. We just have to continue to enjoy what we are doing, because when the Champions League started, the notion was Sundowns always plays good football, and Sundowns always does very, very well in the group stages, but only to crash out in the quarterfinals. We've gone and done one better this season, and that makes us extremely, extremely proud of the effort that the players have put, the effort that the technical team has put, and the club in its entirety has put to get us this far. But it means nothing if we do not continue with the performances and show good integrity and credibility for the club, because it is an important competition for our football club, and we have to continue to keep things in perspective.
Yes.
Hello, Coach. Sarah Ian from Le Matin Sport. Coach, I read yesterday one of your statements that you say we should enjoy this opportunity because it comes once in life. Do you mean by this statement, or do you admit the difficulty of Wydad and his ability to eliminate you from this competition? Thank you.
Yeah, good team, very good team. Great history in this competition. If you appear in the last 8 editions of the Champions League, we would have been in the semi-final 7 times. And so you understand what as a club they have with the experience of this competition, and nobody can fight the facts. But we are here as a football club, and you've seen that our performance is brave, strong. A huge amount of self-belief and confidence in how we play against any opponent. And so we have to just continue with that, continue with the preparation that is attentive to details, continue with giving the players as much information as we can, because preparation, as I always say, eliminates poor performances. And then try to give the players the freedom to express themselves, to enjoy the game, but also to play to win, because in the big clubs, winning isn't enough. You've got to win playing a certain way. And playing a certain way is not enough without winning. So the pressure is always on us to do that and to continue to do that. But certainly the pressure is not on fighting the historical attachment that clubs like Wydad, Al Ahly, Esperance, for example, have with regards to the Champions League.
منى من سعيدين كل شيء كيعرف بانك دوزتي واحد الفتره صعيبه في الرجاء، تعرضتي لواحد الدور كبير، الكل كيعرف المستوى ديالك الكبير. الحمد لله من بعد ديك التجربه اللي نقدروا نقولوا فاشله بسبب الناس اللي سامحها الله، كيفاش قدرتي تتأقلم بسرعه مع هذه الاجواء كما كتعرف الاجواء الافريقيه محضره في جنوب الصحراء، سورتو في فريق كبير كماميلودي سانداونز. وانا متاكد بان غتكون عندك كلمه سر كبيره في هذه المقابله، سواء كنت كتعرف الاجواء، كتعرف فريق الوداد بطل افريقيا. اكيد بان المدرب غيستعين بك بزاف ديال لي بتي ديتاي باش تقدر تعاون الفريق باش يخرج بنتيجه ايجابيه للدار، وسورتو في مقابله العوده اللي غتكون صعيبه بزاف في جنوب افريقيا.
Translation of the question is for the player, that we all know that he had a big hard time back in Casablanca. Then he traveled and started playing for new opportunity like in his career, and with a big club like in Africa. How is he adapting to all these changes, knowing that tomorrow he will play a big, important for sure role, based on the fact that he knows the team, he knows the stadium, knows the defense. So for sure we rely on him big time to bring something to this match, or you will. So that will be.
Yeah, good question.
بارك كما كيعرف الجميع وكما شاف الجميع، ما خديتش الفرصه ديالي في فريق الرجاء. فيمكن انا ما عرفتش نقول كنت مظلوم ولا شي حاجه، يمكن هما عندهم حق ولا المهم هما كيشوفوا الشوفه ديالهم كمدرب كرئيس، ما عندهمش الشوفه ديالهم كنحترمهم. فوالا ما غاديش نقدر نقول لهم شي حاجه زعما خايبه في المورات اللي وقع. فالحمد لله كل شيء كيعرف عبدالمنعم بوطويل، كيعرف المستوى ديالو. فوالا انا مشيت لجنوب افريقيا زعما فرق في المستوى، ما كيخليك زعما تكون بعيد على الاجواء ديالك. ديما كل مره كيقرب شي واحد كيدخل كل مره. انا نهضر مع المدرب تقريبا كل سيمانه، يومين في السيمانه كنهضر معاه في الواتساب. هي حاجه في هذه المرات مؤخرا كنت كنهضر معاه تقريبا يوميا، حتى الناس واحد الفريق اللي من البلد ديالو وعارف عليه بزاف الحوايج بالنسبه للجمهور، بالنسبه للاجواء اللي غادي تكون في الملعب. المهم كنا تعطينا بزاف الحوايج، كنعطيه معلومات وكيبقى القرار ديالو. انا كنعطيه المعلومات وداكشي اللي يقدروا يعاونوه، ولكن كيبقى القرار ديالو. حنا كنتبعوا التعليمات ديالو، وان شاء الله حنا جينا هنا باش نركب الماتش، ماشي باش ندي واحد التعادل ولا كما.
So the player is feeling very much supported, very much welcomed in the club, that he's receiving all the support he needs to adapt, to integrate the club, and that he's in touch with you personally at least twice a week in communication, and he's very happy and enjoying his experience with such a big club as Mamelodi Sundowns. I think, okay, there, and you will wrap up the press conference. Go.
السلام عليكم. حمزة بن لاس طومعة. في آخر 5 الماتشات لا ديسونتو ديال الكوتش، آخر 5 الماتشات بين ماميلودي والوداد كانوا جوج ديال لي فيكتوار الوداد، جوج تعادلات. آخر ماتش ماميلودي سانداونز ربحوا 1-0 فاز بالهبوط في جنوب افريقيا. واش نقدروا نقولوا بلي هذا الماتش غيكون ديال اليوم يكون تأكيد أن الوداد مابقاش يعطي ديال سانداونز ولا يعني يعاودوا يرجعوا لكرسوا الهيمنه ديالهم الى فريق سانداونز، سيرتو ان الفريق ديال الوداد عمرو تخسر مع سانداونز في ادوار الاقصاء.
Some community difficulties in this question about the fact that the last 5 matches played between Sundowns and Wydad, there was like 2 wins for Wydad, 2 draws, and then the very last match, Sundowns won 1-0 in the group stage. So this match or tomorrow's match will be the continuity of this, like to prove that Wydad has no now supremacy of Mamelodi Sundowns, and that Sundowns is not concerned anymore by or like threatened by Wydad on the field.
We have a question. No, we can't base any of our performances on history. Where history is there to be written and to be told for folklore, as they say. But the reality is we're going to be in the present. We've got to play their match and not the occasion tomorrow, and we will do our best to give a strong performance and to win the football match, because that's what we're here to try to do.
The very last question, Madam.
سؤالي دائما لعبدالمنعم بوطويل، لا كيسيون غادي تكون اكثر سونتيمونتال. كنعرفوا ان فريق الوداد عزيز استقر التقنيه ديالو بالمدرب محمد امين بن هاشم. كتعرفوا لا ريلاسيون اللي كتجمعك مع امين شفت فيها في الانترفيو اللي داز معنا في انفا سبور، شنو تقدر تقول لي شنو الاشياء زعما اللي دازت بيناتكم في الكواليس قبل هذه المقابله؟
So she's reflecting on the emotional side, sentimental. That Wydad just hired a new member with the technical staff, which is a Moroccan coach named Amin Ben Hashim, that has or entertain a special relation with the you're not aware of it, maybe. So we listen to the answer.
والله محمد امين بن هاشم مدرب اللي محترم كبير، نسمع واحد الكاسه ديال نقول الاولى المباراه كانت خايبه، العلاقه ديالي بقات معاه جيده، بقينا على اتصال زعما واخا ما بقاش معنا في الفريق بقيت معنا على اتصال، زعما كنستافد منه، كان بعض المرات كنكون حتى شي حاجه كنصونها ليه كيعاوني بزاف الحوايج. فصراحه ما بالنسبه لهذه المقابله فانا ما نتكلمش معاه نهائيا على حتى شي ديتاي زعما على المقابله ديال الكاب. يمكن دابا شي 15 يوم ما هضرتش معاه قبل ما يتعين ولا هو المساعد المدرب ديال الفريق الوداد، وان شاء الله غادي نقدم واحد المستوى كبير في الملعب، وتكون واحد الراس كروي اللي رياضي بعيدا على جميع المشاكل الكرويه، وان شاء الله نقدموا كره جيده في المستوى ان شاء الله.
Fully competent. He's not in touch with them. Before we and just a reminder about official training for Mamelodi Sundowns is tonight at 8 at the complex Mohammed V. 15 minutes are open for media, and we thank you, coach, and wish you best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you so much.